Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on Measure for Measure, and today we get to hear from Claudio again in what the folio calls Act 1, Scene 3, but a lot of other versions just have as the end of Act 1, Scene 2. So things that are going on. The Duke of Vienna has left, and he left Angelo in charge with Aeschylus as like second in charge, and Angelo was tasked with enforcing the city's laws, which he is doing to a T. He's taking all of the laws very seriously and enforcing them to the letter of the law, even if they haven't been enforced in a very, very long time. So he's shutting down inns, he's shutting down brothels, he's cracking down on debauchery and lechery and all that sort of thing. And poor Claudio has been arrested, and he is going to be beheaded 3 days from now because he got his girlfriend Julietta pregnant before they got married. So Claudio is currently being sort of carted off to jail, but Angelo had him like paraded around first, and in this being paraded around and made an example of, we run into Lucio, and he was chatting with Lucio yesterday, and he's like, you know, this is ridiculous that I'm being taken away like this. You know, Julietta and I, this was a mutual thing. We're very much in love. The only reason we're not married is because we didn't have a dowry yet. And I swear Angelo is only doing this to build a reputation for himself, because these laws that he is now holding people to have not been enforced for the last 19 years. Like, this is ridiculous. And Lucio's like, yeah, that is ridiculous. Why don't you find the Duke and ask him to get involved? And Claudio says, I have done so, but he's not to be found. I prithee, Lucio, do me this kind service. This day, my sister should the cloister enter, and there receive her approbation. Acquaint her with the danger of my state, implore her in my voice that she make friends to the strict deputy, bid herself assay him. I have great hope in that, for in her youth there is a prone and speechless dialect such as move men. Beside, she hath prosperous art when she will play with reason and discourse, and well she can persuade. So what he's saying here is Claudio has a sister. First of all, he's not going to the Duke because nobody can find the Duke. But Claudio has a sister who is about to become a nun. She's about to take her vows and enter a cloister and become a nun. But she's apparently really good at debating. So Claudio asks Lucio to go find her and ask her to go to Angelo on Claudio's behalf, because Claudio can't go plead his own case. But maybe if a nun goes to plead his case and beg mercy and beg for his life, then maybe that will prevent Claudio from being beheaded 3 days from now. And Lucio's like, of course, I will, like, I'll go see her within like 2 hours. I'm there, I'm totally there, I got this. And that's the end of this particular scene, whether it be Act 1, Scene 3 in the folio or Act 1, Scene 2 in other versions of the play, depending on which way you want to go. So anyway, tomorrow we will get to see a little bit more about what's happening in Vienna and how all of this is going to pan out, and whether or not Claudio will be doomed to lose his head, because, you know, that's exactly what happens in a comedy, right? I'll see you tomorrow for more. Mwah.